Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Friday the 26th of April and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to unbox, get the knife. And this is another thing that came this morning. And what I've got inside here is Walt Disney animated, a cooperative board game by Prospero Hall, published by the late Funko Games. This is published basically to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Walt Disney. This is for ages 10 plus, 2 to 4 players. So this is just volume 1, and it plays 2 to 4 players, 20 minutes per player. So work together like the team at the famous Walt Disney animation studios to create a movie magic. Produce 5 classic Disney films using detailed background art, vibrant paint colours, and lively sound to bring your cherished stories to life on the screen. But watch out, the infamous villains of your feature films will rush your deadlines and create all the calamity they can. As a team, you'll use the strength of the animation studio, heart, focus, inspiration, grit and teamwork to vanquish the villains and finish your films on time. Whatever we accomplish belongs to our entire group, a tribute to our combined effort, Walt Disney. 15 Trust and overlay cell cards to layer onto the background, 5 classic films to animate. There we go. So that looks quite interesting, and the box itself is quite hefty. Actually more hefty, I think, than your average game from Funko Games. Now, my interest in this is more the fact that it is from Funko Games than it is a Disney game. Now, it's not to say that I'm not a Disney fan. I like some Disney stuff. I like more when I was a kid. And there's lots of good stuff to watch, but I like to see what Prospero Hall does in adapting intellectual properties into interesting board games. So open up, nice little checkerboard, kind of 50s feel there on the inside of the back. On the inside of the box. That's what you get inside. Oh, don't want it to fall out. There's the rule book. That's a nice shot of the studio there. Period. Feel that's a nice touch. We've got the components and how to set the game up. Studio setup in more detail. Game overview. What you do on your turn and the actions you can take. And then, so essentially, you select an action tile, do the tile's actions, slide the action tiles, place or use characters, and remove calamity. So, in more detail of those actions, sliding your action tiles, placing characters, removing a calamity. You know, it's taking you through the game step by step, nice and easy. Then we have the villain phase, because this is a cooperative game, and then what you're trying to complete your film, and then the end of the game, and you've got an FAQ, frequently asked questions, listing on the back. Then below that we have this. So you've got the board first, so I'll pull that out. One of the things that isn't, that you've got the Disney animated, and that opens up like that. So you've got slots there for your villains, for your animation, the ink and paint section, and these are going to be the tiles there. You're going to move them right down as your actions. There we go. Those are the action tiles. And then you've got these. So these are the boards for each of the individual films. So these are the cells you're trying to put in place, I'm presuming, because these sort of come out. And then you've got the villain, Mad Hatter, Alice, and March Hare, sort of like the villains involved. And so there's one there for Alice in Wonderland. For yeah, and these are really sturdy. Fantasia. I'm going to say on the back. This is just an extra thing. There we go. Done in the sort of like the kind of the trade dress for Alice in Wonderland, and again for Fantasia. 101 Dalmatians. Aladdin. Okay. And then last one, but of course not least, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The one that really kind of put Disney on the map, as it were. And then underneath this we have. Let me show you. These are the cells. You've got 15 of these. You're going to be placing these into the films. So let's try and get this open. It doesn't want to come out. So let's just give that a bit of a. There we go. And these are just simple plastic cells with artwork from the films. So there we go. And they sort of like remind me, of course, of the, sort of like the Letraset kind of action scenes you would create when I was a kid. You sort of like, you'd buy an action sort of like piece of cardboard folder, and you get some Letraset kind of figures that you could sort of like rub down and put into place to create an action scene. So those are the sort of like lie at the kind of the core of the game. You've got various tokens. So you've got like the genie there, and the Cheshire Cat, and bones and things. Nice wooden pieces. Another deck of cards. This is going to be these. That's enough. Get the knife on them. There we go. So you've got magic tokens. So that's what your action cards. That's what you can get. Each player's going to get one of those. Then you've got animation cards. So let's have a look. Grit, heart, focus, and so on. These are going to be sort of like the things you're trying to be putting together to do particular actions. Another tiny little pack of cards. Quite a lot in this game, but sadly this is only volume 1. So with Funko Games going out of print, or out of, closing down, there is no expansions to this, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully there are going to be some more with the new publisher. You have, Calamity cards, the various different films, which is what you're trying to get rid of. Looks Alice in Wonderland, Aladdin. So there are those. That's all the cards, I think. So, and the thing is, there are lots of Disney games available. Disney is a big intellectual property, or has lots of big intellectual properties which it wants to make available and sort of like, push into sort of like, buying so that you can sort of you can experience in a different way, and I think that this game does that. But it does it actually more than that. So these are going to be like the villain cards. So yeah, the Queen of Hearts for Alice in Wonderland, Cruella de Vil for 101 Dalmatians, and then Chernobog for Fantasia, the Queen, the evil stepmother for Snow White, and of course Jaffa for Aladdin. And then we've got individual little decks there, and basically card boxes for all of the decks of your few different films. There's one each, and these are color coded, so obviously you know, like the backs of those cards, that's Alice in Wonderland, that's 101 Dalmatians, and so on. I think that's, again, lots of effort to make this really very much a, you know, give it a fantastic trade dress. Various tokens, including the first player token, cup of coffee, do like that. And then you've got various tokens for placings. So these are going to be like your player card holders or references, and you've got details there on the back for each of one of those. So place the Queen of Hearts, place Chernobog, and so on. So what this does is it does something that most Disney games not going to do, because they're going to focus on particular individual properties, whether that's going to be, so for example, Winnie the Pooh or Lady, you know, Beauty and the Beast and so on, Little Mermaid. They're going to focus on those and do a game about that. This is a game about Disney in general, and it lets you do things that normally aren't covered in a Disney game, which is actually be an animator, actually be you know, a filmmaker in the Disney school, and I think that's a fantastic opportunity. Makes for a really different game. And a different play experience, of course. So that's a really sturdy, well put together game. I'm looking forward to giving this a review. I wasn't very keen. I didn't actually pick up a review copy when I was offered one. I should have done more for me, because I didn't think it was going to be my audience. But I think it's not necessarily. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as well. I actually think I'm more interested in it now than I was there. I was, you know, but that is Disney animated a cooperative game by Prospero Hall. So yeah, I think that looks great. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here in the Read Nook with a box containing a book or game, or in this case a board game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.